Good morning to you, James Whale's Breakfast Show on BBC Essex this morning. I'm joined by Laurence Sanderson. Laurence, good morning.
Good morning, James.
He's been flung into the sea. He's an independent financial consultant from Sterling and Law, the independent financial consultants. We're going to talk business. And I bet we're going to talk pensions, aren't we?
Well, we could do, yes, James.
I don't know. It's the favourite topic of anybody doing business to talk about pensions at the moment, and I know people yawn and say, "Oh no, we haven't talked about pensions for at least a week." And this is something that you guys out there who are young, embarking on your careers, should be thinking about. Old people need not worry about pensions. It is too late. Whatever financial advisors tell you, you need to start your pension pot as soon as you leave school. Some people have even done it while they've been at school.
Absolutely right. The sooner you start it, the better.
Why?
The longer you have to save, the more you can build up when you reach your retirement, and retirement being hopefully the longest holiday of your life.
I disagree. Retirement is not a good thing to come. I mean, the money is good if you're lucky enough to have a pension, but, you know, giving up and sort of say, "Oh, I'm not doing anything else." No, not a good idea.
But you still want to have a nice, comfortable retirement.
Yes. And most of us won't, because we haven't, people like me, in those days, you didn't put much away, you couldn't afford it, you didn't do it. And, of course, it is getting ever more likely that the state pension won't be funded as much as it has been for people in the next couple of generations.
No, it certainly won't. And as you've probably seen, they've been moving the state pension age back, and it's a simple truth. It's good in one respect, because people are living longer, which is great news, but they're living longer and not saving enough for retirement. So.
And I think also the thing about pensions, you know, that, Laurence, that people have to understand is it is the most expensive, more expensive sometimes than buying a house, the thing that you're going to spend most money on.
Well, absolutely. It's probably going to be your second biggest asset after your house. Absolutely. You can end up with a really large pot at retirement if you save effectively and you do it from an early age, like you say. Which is why the National Employment Saving Trust, it's reached a landmark point. It's just had 1 million members in it, which is fantastic news.
National Employment Savings Trust, good way to save?
It is a good way to save. It's the default. So obviously the government introduced auto enrolment and workplace pensions for all employers, and the National Employment Savings Trust is the default option really for most employers. If you look at how many people have joined, so 1 million people are starting to save for retirement, which they never saved before. And in total, you've got probably 3 million people since the regulations came in who've never saved.
Those guys listening at the moment who may be starting off, maybe in their early 20s, by the time they get to, Nick Alliker, I suppose, who's our sports presenter on the programme this morning, by the time they get to his age, they will have needed to save something like £750,000 to £1 million to have any kind of reasonable pension at all, and I don't think people realise that.
No, well, if you go back and look at it's probably a better way of looking at it, is what the state will provide. So they're looking to bring in a flat rate pension that's going to provide £150 per week. So it's really there to provide a subsistence level of earnings or income.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you want to live on £600 a week, then just rely on the state pension. Sorry, £150 per week, just rely on the state pension. If not, you've got to do something else, and the something else is saving for retirement.
Obviously, it'll be whatever £150 is worth, if you like, in 20 or 30 years' time, but it still won't be an enormous amount of money.
No, absolutely not. No,
all right, let's talk about interest rates. Everybody's concerned, Laurence, about interest rates at the moment. People say they won't be going up now until at least next year. Do you agree?
At least next year. Well, if you look at what most of the economists are saying, and there seems to be a general consensus that they'll probably go up in the middle of next year, in 2015. Some are saying earlier, maybe towards the back end of 2014. But the consensus is that interest rates will be going up.
Well, yes, I
in the not-too-distant future.
I think they're definitely going to go up at some point. But that seems, people were panicking they were likely to go up in the next couple of months or so. That seems now not to be the case.
It's unlikely. Let's say the consensus is, when you look at what the economists are saying, they're thinking that it's going to go up in 2015 at the earliest. I mean, you've got to think we've had 5 years of the lowest interest rate we've had for 300 years. I think we've just hit 5 years and 1 month at 0.5%. So it's historically low.
It might be low interest rates, but you try and borrow money at that rate or get a mortgage at that rate, you won't be able to do it.
No, but borrowing is still incredibly cheap, and that's the problem. That the International Monetary Fund are saying that as a country we're addicted to debt. So we're addicted to cheap debt. And if you're addicted to cheap debt, when the interest rates start going up, then suddenly it becomes less affordable. So people on variable rate mortgages or tracker mortgages are going to find that they've got less money to spend when interest rates do go up.
Although they have had a number of years of fairly easy times.
Oh, it's been fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed that as well, so it's all good news.
Laurence, thank you very much indeed. Laurence Sanderson, independent financial consultant, taking us through some of the business stories of the day. Thanks very much indeed for that.
Thank you, James.
I think it's probably time.
The BBC Essex Breakfast Show with James Whale.
This is BBC Essex. Two